Welcome to the 2020 Exceptional Family Member Program Virtual Summit. I'm Christina Whitfield, your hostess. We're happy you can join us for today's program and encourage you to participate by sending your comments and questions to this Facebook page. Let's begin by welcoming Lieutenant General Brian Kelly, Headquarters Air Force Deputy Chief of Staff for Manpower, Personnel, and Services.
Well, hello and welcome to our Exceptional Family Member Program, EFMP Summit. We are super excited that you guys are able to join us here today on what is a really important topic. This is a topic that has the absolute attention of our Secretary of the Air Force, Secretary Barrett, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General Brown, and the Chief of Staff of Space Operations, General Raymond. Why is it so important? It's so important because over 50,000 service members and their family members are involved in the Exceptional Family Member Program. And I'm here to tell you guys that we ought to face it. We, as a Department of the Air Force, have been looking at this for a while, and frankly, we get a grade of an F-. This has just not been a program that we've been very good at over the years for a variety of reasons, and we just need to do better. We need to do better by you guys, and we are committed to doing so. And I'm really excited to be able to share with you guys a few of the things that you guys are going to see during this summit and that you're going to help us with. Because the things I'm going to talk to you about here a little bit really come from you guys. They come from past rapid improvement events. They come from feedback that you provided directly via social media or from our trips around the Air Force, where our senior leaders get to hear from you guys directly on the EFMP program. So why has the program been an F-? There's lots of reasons, but I would tell you one of them is because there's just frankly too many cooks in the kitchen. Lots of different aspects of EFMP and lots of different people usually means no one person is in charge, no one organization in charge, and when you have too many heads and leaders, it just doesn't go well. Well, we've changed that as an Air Force. A few months ago, we started to say the Air Force A1, me, is now in charge of the EFMP program with others who have key positions to contribute, whether that be the Surgeon General and our medical folks, our legal folks in JA, or anybody, school liaison officers and others who have a role to play in EFMP. We are all now working together under the umbrella of the A1 in this program. Also, as we looked at that, we said we need to come together and give you guys the kind of service and the kind of one-stop shopping that you need to be able to do that. So we are excited to have launched a cell, a group of people to work on the Exceptional Family Member Program down at AFPC. That's still in the stages of getting up fully to operational capability, but it's going to provide you guys in the field a one-stop shop to be able to talk about assignments, to be able to talk about school issues, medical issues, legal issues, all the things that have confounded our families and service members when they deal with the EFMP program. We're also really excited to show you, based on some of the things you've given us feedback, some of the ideas we have to make things better for you. One of the things we consistently heard about was it is frankly just too hard to fill out all the paperwork and go through the process and understand and navigate what happens. We've been working hard on delivering some new tools, and we're going to be happy to show those to you and get your feedback from those tools. And we're also delivering some new processes that we're going to try out. We're going to try some of those processes out here this fall. So our new inbound commanders, wing commanders, group commanders, our command chiefs who are going out to some of the bases who happen to maybe be enrolled in EFMP are going to help us walk through and be involved in the new process so we can get direct feedback from them and then help that to refine the process further. I'm excited about what we're doing. Again, most of what we're doing is based on things you guys have given to us. And what I'm really excited about is we'll be able to show you some of those things and get even more feedback from you to help us refine, make things even better, and evolve to where we go. I would tell you from our initial grade of F-, we're maybe up to like a C grade. So there's lots more work to do, but I am really excited about where we're going. I'm excited about the changes for you guys, and I'm excited to get your feedback. Thanks again for joining us for this really important EFMP Summit. Please participate. Please help us get your feedback and your understanding of the things that we're putting forth, the changes that we're making, the new tools and processes that we're providing. Tell us how they do, how they work out, and give us that feedback. But let me say again, we are committed as an Air Force from the senior leadership level on down from here in the Pentagon to make sure we tackle this and make the EFMP process what it needs to be for our airmen and our families. So thanks for that. I look forward to getting your feedback, and I hope it's a great summit.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Kelly, for your opening remarks. Please welcome Ms. Tammy Nelson from Headquarters Air Force.
Hello all, my name is Tammy Nelson. I'm the HQE for Transformation. Stands for Highly Qualified Expert. We'll just go with Qualified Expert for Transformation. So Lieutenant General Kelly asked me to come in and work on the Exceptional Family Member Program. All of you know even better than I do that it could use some transformation. There's some things we need to do differently. So when we look at this, we sit down and look at, I had all your comments. I knew the program had a bad reputation, but we said, what else is there? So we use a process, a Six Sigma process called the MAKE, where we're going to define the problem. So this slide explains the DMAIC process. And the next slide is the problem as we stated it. And I think you'd all agree. We said the current process is seen as disorganized, disjointed, slow, and ineffective. There's probably a few more things we could say, but the bottom line is it wasn't working very well. Lieutenant General Kelly was well aware of this, as you heard in his introduction. He told you we were an F-, and he was right. There's some things we needed to change. The team wasn't changing because they didn't want to. There's some question, how do we do it? What do we do? It's a big issue. There's lots of different facets of EFMP. So we did our rapid improvement event. And we see back to our first slide, we've defined the problem, right? So now we have to measure what's wrong. This is where we discovered we don't have great metrics. So we know it's slow, but how slow? Where is it slow? We know it's inconsistent, but how is it inconsistent? We don't have a lot of great data, and I'll talk to you about that here in a minute and what we're going to do about that. And then we analyze. So the team comes up with all the different problems that we know of. Each member of the team, we had about 17 people in the room. Each member of the team was told to put at least 5 things on the wall. We use sticky notes and put them on the wall that says what a problem is. And then we go through and we group those that are the same, because of course we have some duplicates. When we did all that, we had 42 problems on the list. And this was just really focused on the medical side of the EFMP process. Some of the things on that list were lack of automation, inconsistency, unnecessary medical appointments, which I suspect many of you will agree with. So there was a lot on the list. There were some that we said there's probably not anything we can do about it. SOFA agreements, for example. So the status of forces agreements in other countries. This team is probably not going to impact that if it's something that's in a SOFA agreement, but there were many things that we could impact. So then we went to improve. What are we going to do about it? This is where I think you've seen some things about the central cell being established. This is kind of where it was brainstormed to say, what if we centralized? If we centralize, we can get more consistent decision making, right? We can probably develop some better metrics. Maybe some other things are going to be needed for that. We've got some automation ideas. There were a lot of things that came out of it, and Ms. Herm will tell you more about the centralization, but we said we need one place for our families to call. Doesn't mean we can fix all the problems in that one place, but we can do warm handoffs, and we can call the base and say, this family's got an issue, we need you to get involved, here's the policy on it, here's what we can do to help. So that's the formation of the centralized cell. And then the next step is the control. How are we going to measure it? How are we going to know if we did anything better? And that's where a big part of these metrics and some of those things are going to come in going forward. So our current process map in our new process, we have a new process map. This slide shows the new process map. I don't want to go through the whole thing. There's probably more detail than you'd really want to know on this process map. But the things I did want to point out are the purple triangles. Purple triangles are places where an airman and their family can say, you know what, this assignment's not going to work for us for whatever reason. You may say this isn't going to fit our family's current needs. Now there has to be a reason. It can't be we just don't want to live there. That's not going to be the reason. But if an airman stands up and says, I need a different assignment, or I need something to change, then you're going to jump down to the box toward the bottom where it says notify member of options. We've put in a team that's going to do personal counseling with each member to say, these are some of the options you have. Perhaps the option's going to be, you know what, I really want this assignment, so I'm going to travel unaccompanied and take that assignment anyway. It may be, I need a new assignment. Or it may be, I want to appeal the decision. I think there's something that I can make work in this particular assignment. So we're going to spend some more time talking through those options to help our members make good decisions for their families. I don't think we've done that as well as we probably need to. You'll also see the box labeled Express Lane. It's kind of changed now. It's not going to be called the Express Lane as much, but we're doing some triaging. So for example, there's a lot of things that are just required in EFMP. A CPAP machine. Well, a CPAP machine in CONUS is probably not a big deal. We can get parts. We know the power sources. So that should be Express Lane or green case, we're going to call that. That should move through fast. And we can move that through much more quickly than perhaps some of our other cases. We're also going to have yellow cases. Yellow cases are going to take some time. So the central cell is going to work with the losing base and the gaining base and say, you know, let's talk through this case. What needs have to be met for this family? What do we need to do? Those I expect to take the longest amount of time. The red cases are those that are easy on the other side to say, you know what, it's just not going to be here for this family. We're not going to be able to support their needs, and we're going to have to do a travel not recommend for this particular family. So that's our triaging to move cases faster. This is in the idea of things move too slowly. Let's try doing some triaging and move cases through faster. And for those of you that say, you know what, this isn't a big issue for me, I don't think I should be EFMP, it's congressionally mandated, but can we make it move faster for you? And I'm going to show you something here in a minute to also help with that. So the new process with the central cell of doctors will, I think, help us move things more quickly. Another one of the new things in our process is we want to test. Remember that unnecessary medical appointments statement I made a little earlier? When we did our rapid improvement event, many of the doctors in the room said, you know, it doesn't really help us that much, and it's taking families quite a bit of time. So is there something we can do differently? So we're going to test not requiring those medical appointments. Now, keep in mind it's a test that we're all hoping will be wildly successful because I think it could really help you out. So our next wing and group commanders and command chiefs group coming through right now is our test subjects for us. So they're testing the travel screener, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but they're also testing this idea of filling the paperwork out for us. We're going to look at that paperwork, and we may call and we may say, you know what, we need you to go update an appointment update with your doctor. Or we may say, based on the insurance claims information that we're also going to have access to, and the paperwork that you've submitted, we can clear without having to see the doctor. So again, we're testing. If you think about it, even if we can cut out a third or 2/3 of the doctor appointments, that will help a great deal. It's our hope we can cut out even more than that. But stay tuned for more updates. We'll keep you informed as we move forward on that test. But we're encouraged, at least by initial work on this, that it's going to work. So another thing we're talking about is transparency. One of the comments that comes through is, just tell us where my family can be cleared. Now we probably have an equal number saying, tell us where my family can be cleared, as we do saying, don't stop me, let me take my family wherever I want to go. So we're not going to make everybody happy with this one. But what we are trying to do is give you some more transparency. So let's go to our provider dashboard, and let me show you the provider dashboard. Today it's available on MyVector, but we're working on the site that will be outside still be secured, but outside the government system a little bit so you can have access from home. We've applied for the website, and that's what we're waiting for. As soon as we get our website address approved, we'll have it up and running within 7 days of that. So we're hoping to get the website address approved within the next 30 days, and then we'll be up and running. So for now, though, let me show you what it looks like. It's going to look the same on both sites. The Medical Provider Trends tool is a new tool we've released to help with transparency. One of the comments we received is we need transparency. We need to know where we could go. And some of the comments were, just tell us where we can be cleared, but others don't want that. So instead, what we're doing is giving you a provider trends tool so you can look at the history of the bases and have some idea, based on your family situation, if it's a good fit for you. Currently, this is on MyVector. This is a screen that comes up, and we know that's a problem. We know it needs to be outside CAC-enabled kind of feature. We're working on that. We hope to have that hopefully in the next 30 days. Right now, we're waiting for website approval, but it's going to look the same, so I'm still going to demo. We look at the Medical Provider Trends tool, click, and it says click here to access the tool. And here's the tool. Here's what you'll see. So this is everyone that's gone through screening for the last 2 years. So you can see there's been almost 57,000 evaluations. 9% of those were met with a travel not recommended. Of those that 9%, 78% were because of distance to provider, and 44% were because of the wait time. So this doesn't add up to 100% because in some cases it's going to be both reasons. So it's not going to add up. So you can use this trends tool to search on what's important to you. You say, I just need to look at pediatrics. That's the most important thing. So then you can see some of the trends for pediatrics, but let's be more specific. I need a pediatric gastroenterologist. And I can see where my travel not recommends are. And a listing of the bases. Green check marks mean travel's always been recommended. So you can go down through the list and find perhaps where it hasn't been. But, I don't want to do that. I know exactly where I want to go. Let's say I want to go to Shepherd. So Shepherd is really my goal. I need a pediatric gastroenterologist, but I don't know. 100% of those have been travel not recommended. So mostly because of distance. So if that's really my desire and I really need a pediatric gastroenterologist, I probably need to change my expectation. Shepherd is not likely to work for me. If this were 50-50, I'd say, maybe it works. I know my individual situation and I will have some idea if that works. So this tool is provided to just do some advanced planning with your family. You may say, Shepherd is really the assignment I need to have, though, so I may have to come to terms with traveling unaccompanied, or I may have to have some other options. This information is updated every quarter, and it's a rolling 2 years, so it means when we add a new quarter, we drop off the oldest quarter. So it's always the freshest data we have from the previous 2 years. We all know we're making improvements every day, so this can change. It's directional only, just to provide some visibility. So another piece of automation that we have in is our automated travel screening process. We're excited about this one. We think it's also going to help us move things through more quickly and get you answers much faster. This slide shows just a visual of the process map. I'm also going to show you a demo of what it really looks like today, but just the process map. You can see it's going to ask you just a few questions, but are your dependents moving with you? If you've decided to go unaccompanied, easy. They're not moving with me, you're going to be cleared. Are you relocating within the contiguous 48 states? Different set of questions. If you're going OCONUS, it's all different. So OCONUS does require a full screening, even if your family isn't EFMP. We've been questioned about that, but that's a Department of Defense rule. So we're not going to be able to get away from that one. That's a screen that we're always going to have to do. And then the 6 questions that we go through. We always hear it's very difficult to get out of EFMP once you're in. In our travel screener, one of the questions is, our records indicate that you are enrolled in EFMP. Is this correct? If you say, no, it isn't correct anymore, you go through the questions, and if you answer all those questions no, you're going to get a notice that says you're under review. And under review means one of the doctors will be reaching out to you to say, can you fill out some paperwork for me? Tell me why you don't believe you should be EFMP enrolled. I told you earlier we're in the midst of testing this with our command group, just very early stages, but so far it's working pretty well, and we've taken 3 people out that are no longer EFMP enrolled. At some point in our future, we'll have an option to do that without doing the travel screening, but that isn't available yet. So let me move on to show you what the travel screening process really looks like. Okay, let's go over the new travel screener. So when a member's been given a PCS assignment, they're going to get an email that says log into MyVector and complete the new travel screener. This is a screen that's going to come up, and it says click here to begin the new travel screening process. Here comes the travel screener. So the good news is we've auto-filled everything we can auto-fill, and the only thing you have to add is your real phone number. So it's important to give us an accurate phone number because that's how we're going to reach out to you if we have any questions. Confirm the rest of the data and hit continue. And then it asks you some questions. Are you taking your dependents with you? Yes. Is your assignment located within the contiguous 48 states? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to hit continue. It is critically important that these questions are answered honestly. So keep in mind, this is your family we're talking about. There's nothing more important. We want to have honest answers so we can make honest assessments so we can take care of your family members. So please answer these questions and then hit continue. Once you hit continue, you'll be sent to the proper screens. The thing that's really important is make sure you get the green check mark. It's going to ask you to verify your answers again and then hit submit. So please, like I've said, please be honest with all these answers. It is your family we're talking about, and that's the most critical thing we have. Okay, so I've shown you quickly what you're going to do if you're traveling within the U.S. Now I say my dependents are not traveling with me. I'm going to say no and hit continue. It's going to ask me to verify that my dependents are not traveling with me and submit my responses, and I'll get my next steps in the process. Okay, let's look at another example. So Mr. Jeffrey is going to PCS, and he's now got the assignment travel screening required. He's going to click on the note. And Jeffrey gets our same screen that says verify all my data. So I've verified my data, and I put in my phone number. And it says, are my dependents moving with me? Yes, they are. Am I located in the contiguous 48 states? Yes, I am. And then it says, our records indicate that you are enrolled in EFMP. Does this still apply? If Jeffrey hits no, he's going to fill out all the questions. And then Jeffrey's going to get a screen that says, please log into Cubase and fill out the appropriate paperwork. From there, our doctors are going to see that. This family's going to go into the under review condition. The doctors are going to review that paperwork, reach out to Jeffrey, talk about why you feel he should not be enrolled in EFMP, and then take appropriate action. If he needs to be disenrolled, they will take that action. If we say yes, this still applies, I'm going to hit continue. I get to the review. Yes, submit my responses. Am I sure I want to submit? Yes, I am. And I'm going to get this message that says you have successfully completed the travel screening questionnaire. And please log into QBase to continue the process. So QBase is our process that we use to collect information so the doctors can use that to determine the screening criteria and screening answers. Okay, one more example to walk through on the travel screener. Again, front page says travel screening required. I'm going to go through and put in my phone number. And are my dependents traveling with me? Yes, they are. But my assignment is not within the 48 contiguous states. So again, verify responses. Am I sure? And then I'm also going to get this note to say log into QBase and finish the screener. One of the questions we received was, why do I have to do the screener to travel overseas? That's actually a DoD policy. That's not something Air Force is going to be able to change. So whether you're EFMP or not, we have to do the full travel screen if you're going OCONUS. The one important thing to note on any of the travel screens is you need to get this green checkmark answer. If you haven't gotten that, perhaps you haven't submitted, there may be another reason, reach out to us and ask a question. We started this travel screening process on August 13th, and I looked at our status today, and we have almost 20 people that are still showing as pending the travel screening, but they've started it, which means they haven't taken it all the way through to verifying and submitting their answers. So that's an important thing to note on the travel screener. Okay, so that's the automation that we have completed so far today. What else is coming? So Ms. Hearn and Lieutenant Colonel Cowie are going to give you some more detail on the JAGs and the education training we're doing and putting in the special education liaison. Our goal is to help our families be good advocates for themselves. So one of the comments we received was, once I retire, I don't have any support anymore. So we're trying to make this a little bit more in preparation for the future. Can we help teach all of our folks how to be advocates for themselves with the schools? So that way when you retire, you already have the tools. In addition to teaching, we're also going to be there to support. So we have a lot of lawyers being trained to be ready to support you with the schools. Colonel Cowie, Lieutenant Colonel Cowie, and Ms. Hearn are going to talk more about that, but also some really good stuff coming on the education side. So where do we go from here? We are not done. You heard General Kelly say we're perhaps a C. We still have a lot of work to do. We hear you. I assure you all the comments are read, and we go through the comments in detail. Respite care is clearly a problem. That's next. So we're going to do another rapid improvement event around respite care. It'll go through the same process that you've seen with the DMAIC: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And my guess is we'll have the same issues around measure. It seems to be something we need to spend some time on, but we're going to work on that. I've told you about the test with the commander's list. Hoping the test with the commander's list continues to go well with our being able to analyze insurance claims and paperwork and not require doctor appointments. If that's the case, then we'll be rolling that out as quickly as we can across our bases. So that's yet to come. Also, some more automation. We really want to make that paperwork you have to do today. I really would like us to not use the word paperwork and just say automated forms that you complete. So in the first travel screener, one of the things I didn't mention is when you PCS the next time, it's going to pull up your previous history and say, here's how you answered last time. Is this still correct? And all you have to hit is yes or no. That's what we want to be able to do with all of the work that you have to put in. So you can pull up all those other forms and they'll say, here's how you answered last time. Is this still correct? Yes or no. So that's the goal. We have some work to do to get there. Also being developed are those metrics that we talk about. We want to know how long is it taking on average to get the cases back? How long to get the paperwork in? How many times do we have to go back because the paperwork's not correct? How many times have we PCS someone and then found that the decision was wrong and we've had to move them again? That's a metric that I really wish we had today. We have anecdotal stories. We don't have metrics. So you're going to find that we're going to be trying to develop a lot of metrics. We'll be reporting those metrics. It's all about transparency and making sure you see where we are. But that's our future, is going into much more data analytics. That's my background. Data analytics to help us drive data-driven decisions. Trying to keep folks updated a little better, so we do the summit every year, but we're going to try to do updates every month or two. So our RIE, Rapid Improvement Event, around respite care is going to be held end of November. So in early December, expect another update coming to you that we'll record and say, here's what we're going to be doing for respite care. Here's where we are with our current EFMP travel screening. I'm hoping we're going to be talking about what we're going to be doing in lieu of doctor visits. And we'll have some other things coming for you. So please, what we need from you is keep the feedback coming. It's okay to give us good and bad. One of the things I've really liked about the commander list that's going through the screening now, wing commanders are going through it now, is they are sending me notes that say, hey, this is a lot better, this is faster, I like this. They're sending me notes on the things that maybe didn't work quite right. But getting both is also very helpful for us, so we know what to keep in also. So thank you for your time. I really look forward to seeing you again here in another month or two, and we'll keep you updated. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nelson. A quick reminder, the EFMP team is here with you online. Please continue to send in your questions and comments and get answers direct from the team. Let's continue with the summit and welcome Ms. Tammy Hearn from the Air Force's Personnel Center.
Good morning. My name is Tammy Hearn, Chief of the newly established Exceptional Assignment Programs Division and home of the Integrated Exceptional Family Member Program Cell. As Ms. Nelson mentioned in her brief, we used your feedback and testimonies to shape changes in the Exceptional Family Member Program, changes to best support military members and their families during transition and throughout each assignment. Prior to standing up the Integrated EFMP Cell, the three components of the program, assignments, family support, and medical, as well as our support agencies, TRICARE, respite care, and education assistance, all operated independently, leaving military members and their families to navigate several points of contact for assistance. You shared time and time again how this construct was confusing, complex, and disjointed. The A1 and SG communities came together to address this issue and integrated all EFMP agencies into one cell under the Air Force A1 umbrella. The construct, as depicted on this chart, reflects the integrated cells in state. Of note, the assignment and medical teams will work side by side, coordinating assignment and family member travel clearance actions for EFMP families. Our physicians and several medical support team members are already on staff. They are finalizing process mapping and testing functionality. Once again, we will seek EFMP family feedback during a pilot of the new family member travel screening process and make adjustments as needed. You will also notice we are adding several support agency liaisons to the team. Respite care, TRICARE managed care support, a special education liaison, and an attorney steeped in special education law experience. These critical team members will advocate for comprehensive and standardized care for exceptional family members, as well as provide training and assistance to our base level partners. The respite care position, Ms. Nelson mentioned the Air Force will host a rapid improvement event in November to review the program in whole. This position is critical in helping to shape program enhancements. The TRICARE Managed Care Support Liaison will work closely with TRICARE leaders to ensure care availability information is current and accurate. The Special Education Liaison and Attorney. The Air Force is committed to offering legal assistance and specialized education consultation to families who encounter difficulties obtaining and maintaining special education services. This team of professionals will work with and train base level school liaisons and lawyers to arm families with the tools to advocate for educational services. As a matter of fact, we have already begun our efforts to educate base level partners. Members of the Air Force Judge Advocate General Corps recently attended a specialized law course designed to better prepare them to assist parents and guardians of children with special education requirements. The course offered through William and Mary Law School gave military legal assistance attorneys an intense 5-day study of the basics of special education law. In addition, the Air Force hosted a special education law boot camp for 200 school liaisons and family support coordinators to improve base level support to EFMP families. In our new structure, it is important to highlight that families will continue to receive care from base level support agencies. We know you need those boots on the ground contacts, experts you can turn to on your installation. Our staff of support liaisons are united at the headquarters, jointly interpreting laws and providing policy and guidance to base agencies, advocating for program resources and support, and collaborating to provide a streamlined, efficient EFMP process for you, our families. They are also a lifeline when you need it, a place you can contact if you feel stuck somewhere in the process. We'll help navigate through the issue and provide a warm handoff to the agency representative who will assist you. The cell stood up in July 2020, and we are working to hire the complete staff. As of today, over half of the staff is in place, and we expect to reach full operating capability in January of 2021. The stars on the slide depict who is already in place. We still have some hiring to do and are actively recruiting for these unfilled positions. Our team is committed to creating the EFMP support you need. We will continue to seek your feedback as we roll out program changes. Your feedback is the foundation for the work we have completed and the motivation to act swiftly so we can best meet your needs. We appreciate your questions, comments, issues, concerns, and of course, your continued feedback. Thank you for attending the virtual EFMP Summit today, and we look forward to our continued partnership.
Thank you, Ms. Hearn. If you are just joining us, all of the briefings from today's summit will be available for viewing on this Facebook page later today.